Maybe you are more fun than a barrel full of monkeys. Maybe you're that rare breed who can run with the wolves, soar like an eagle, or even sleep with the fishes. But have you ever punched a kangaroo? One man in Australia did, and we've got the right angle on the hidden subtext of the latest story of man versus nature. And with me to do just that, of course, Scott Ott and Bill Whittle. Now, this short clip has been seen by approximately 7 billion people already, but that doesn't mean we're not going to show it to you again. And again. So let us travel now to the land down under, where one man took it upon himself to intervene when his dog got into a scuffle with a kangaroo.
The big buck actually has hold of the dog, not the other way around. As Greg runs in, we realise this could get dangerous.
Let it go, dogs, let's go. Now the dog's coming.
Now, as I watch this clip, I can't help but think of the deeper meaning here, a symbolism that gets lost amidst the tears. Think of a kangaroo, an animal so nurturing, so overflowing with mother love, that it has evolved a pouch in which to carry its young weeks and even months after their birth, to protect them from danger, to keep them warm at night, to allow them to blossom and to fully actualize marsupials. And when I think of that man, and of course it's a man, pummeling that kangaroo into submission, I can't help but think of the abuse suffered by Hillary Clinton just a few weeks ago at the uncaring yet tiny man hands of Donald Trump. Bill, will you join Hillary and me in our safe space while we ponder man's inhumanity to woman-man?
You've completely missed the point here, Steve.
Oh, no.
You've completely missed the point. I think the reason that this is showing up on such a political show as Right Angle is to make a political case. And I think clearly the kangaroo represents the mainstream media and the leftist establishment. The man, of course, is in fact Donald Trump, and the dog, get it? The dog is the American people. The American people is being strangled by the mainstream media. And finally, this man comes over and just punches it right in the face. It couldn't be clearer as far as I'm concerned in terms of the politics of it. My favorite part of the clip, however, I don't think this clip would be doing so well if he knocked the kangaroo out. I think it would probably be a little less popular. My favorite part of it is when he hits this kangaroo. The kangaroo looks at that man exactly the same way that all of these liberal commentators watched the election results coming in. In other words, they just went. They couldn't believe it. A man got out of a car, walked all the way over here and punched me. I'm a kangaroo. I'm supposed to be doing the punching. Don't you guys ever watch Looney Tunes, for God's sakes? It's a pretty clear analogy and a pretty clear allegory, I was trying to say, for our times, Steve. And I'm sorry you missed the boat so much on such a deep subject.
She's got Martha Raddatz eyes.
Bill, I lifted my question to you from Matt Iglesias at Vox, and I can't tell you how wrong you are. But of course, there's more to this clip, isn't there? Oh, yes, there is. It is by nature's design that the lion slays the gazelle. It's nature's way that the mouse must fall prey to the owl. And in nature, even otherwise peaceful creatures like the marmoset and the long-necked clam will battle each other unto death to stake out their territory. And so it is in this video that the kangaroo and the puppy dog, two of nature's most fearsome rivals, find themselves at battle once more. But then a man, and of course it's a man, steps in to violently impose his own furious beat on nature's timeless dance. Scott, when will we learn? When will we learn?
One man. You know, I think that Bill was right, Steve. You completely misunderstand what's happening in this clip. And it's like so many of these clips. I mean, how many times have we seen one of these violent altercations in the streets and we just see a couple of snippets from somebody's cell phone camera? We don't actually get the full context of what happens. As we come upon the scene, it appears as if this fearsome kangaroo has a headlock on this dog, as if the dog was just walking along, minding his own business, and suddenly got locked up with this kangaroo. We don't see what happened beforehand. We don't see the taunting. We don't see the insensitive, speciest comments that the dog may have made to the kangaroo. And so all of a sudden, this kangaroo, which in my view could just as easily have been defending herself as being the aggressor in this situation. And then the guy comes in, the human comes in. Who does this represent? Of course, the police. The police who don't ask any questions. They just go up there and take violent action right away. and hit that innocent kangaroo who was just trying to defend herself. I think that this is a situation that if I'm not surprised, I would not be surprised to find out that Loretta Lynch's Justice Department has already sent an emissary there to investigate exactly what's going on with this. I suggest that we run this clip over and over again, and if possible, even tighten up the editing to give you less context for it, so that people can make a judgment rapidly without having to gather all the facts.
Scott?
Marsupial lives matter.
That's
and
right.
By the way, there are pretty credible reports that kangaroo was just basically hauling butt through that little community of puppies, erratically going back and forth. Scott's right. You didn't see the backstory. You didn't see what got this man so torqued up. How convenient that the camera starts rolling just when he decides to inflict some violence on this particular lawless species of creature.
I lifted my second question from a comment underneath a Washington Post story about this video, and the two of you couldn't be more wrong. All right, folks.
So by mainstream media standards, you've done extensive research.
Okay, I can't do it. I can't keep up the progressive charade any longer. But big thanks to Bill and Scott for playing along. Look, I love this clip. Right before we started taping, it had been viewed almost 10 million times already, and about 250,000 of those were me clicking refresh again and again and again. And the YouTube likes to dislikes are running about 14-1. And let me tell you why that is, why watching a man punch a kangaroo, which is just wrong, but why it makes so many of us smile. I want you to think of the way your dog greets you every time you open the door. Think of those lost dogs who have walked literally hundreds of miles to reunite with their human families. Think of the dog who pulled its owner from a fire or got help when help was needed. Think of the military dogs sniffing out the IEDs that are laid to kill our soldiers. Think of all the things they do to help and protect us. And here was a man willing to cold cock a kangaroo to save his dog. We smile not because he punched a kangaroo, but because he did for his dog what his dog would have been happy to do for him. It's a wonderful thing. And that is The Right Angle on Man vs. Kangaroo, brought to you, I hope with pride, by the paying members of BillWhittle.com. They make this possible, and you could too. Click on over. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button. Thanks for your time, and we'll see you again.